Now, I was doing some research on you earlier. You are, correct me if I'm wrong, please, you are the director of the Rec movies.
I'm one of the
Executive producers of the Rec movies. Can you tell me, I want to say firstly how great those series of movies are. How similar is REC to this?
Let's say that REC is one of the main references for summer camp. There is something that is there. We play possibly with similar rules for the infection, but that we change the rules at the end to make something different and to offer to the audience something original.
So there are twists, just like there are in REC?
Yes, there is a twist in the infection itself and in the story, because there was no reason to repeat the formula. We start from something similar and we evolve in something completely different and fully surprising for the audience.
Now, I've seen the film Hostel.
Yeah.
About a movie where, without going into too much detail, there are young Americans that go out, they don't know much, but they end up getting killed. I read the synopsis to this and it reminded me, that part did. What is it about young Americans that go out to places and then ultimately fall foul of some really rude things? What's the message that you're giving here?
Okay, the premise of the movie is quite common to several movies. Young Americans that are fished out of water, they go to Europe and they have problems in Europe. There is something that has to do with the nature of the Americans. I'm respectful, but they are always, a lot of them are often scared about languages they don't speak or situations they cannot control outside or far from home. So we play a little bit with this. But if the premise is quite similar to such movie as The Hostel or Tourist, then we change a little bit the formula and we discover that it makes no difference being in America, Spain, Russia or Japan. If this happens to you, it's going to be a problem, and no matter how far or how close are from your home.
Now, summer camp, obviously, summer camps are always set in the woods. They're set in very rural areas. What is it about a rural area that gives quite, the woods? What is it about woods and rural areas, open land, that gives a horror its gravitas?
Okay, as the title says, summer camps. I've never been to a summer camp when I was a kid because I was scared to death by this experience. You are far from home, with unknown people, in the middle of the woods, where you can't control things. And I guess that this is the reason why a lot of movies are set in this location. When you are in the rural area, you cannot control the things like when you are in your city with all your friends or your stuff together. I guess that this in a rural area, you feel more unprotected,
No, it's very interesting because I've seen movies such as Cabin Fever, of course. Even going back to classics like The Evil Dead. I mean, they are based in open woods where they are so open, but they're so open they're closed.
Yeah, closed. Actually, I would say that our movie is quite claustrophobic. We are in the woods, but at the very end, we end up in a strange place and things happen in this place. And no matter, it makes no difference if you can escape, because at the very end, the bad guys can reach you wherever you are. And regarding, you mentioned Hostel, then the title itself, Summer Camps, I hope that reminds to the audience such title as Friday the 13th, Sleepaway or Piranha. This is our idea to offer to the audience a premise quite known, but then change the rule and offer something completely unexpected and different.
Now, FrightFest, when I see some of the movies on the FrightFest website, I'm very fascinated by the selection that's on offer, because I'm someone that comes from a time where I appreciated a lot of the early 80s horrors that came out. Fascinated by them, hugely fascinated by them. I want to know, what's your inspiration for creating horror movies? Where do you get your inspiration, your ideas from?
Okay, possibly I decided I want to become a horror director since I was a little kid, and possibly all this love started when I saw an Italian horror movie entitled Profondo Rosso, Deep Red, directed by Dario Argento and shot in my hometown, in Turin. I knew the locations, I knew the house where the murder took place. It was quite close to my house, and I realized when I saw that movie that I love to be scared, but I love to scare people also. And starting from that movie, I start to watch other horror, British horror, American horror, but this is the first one who inspired me and who motivated me to stay in this.
I personally find horrors that I watch, if they're from a foreign country like maybe Spain or Italy, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of I find a lot of passion, a passion that maybe isn't quite the same as if it's a horror from maybe England or maybe the United States. It's a I'm not saying it's not the same or they lack on either side, but there's a big difference, isn't there? What is that difference?
Possibly there is a difference, and it has to do with our different culture. You know, they say that Latins we are more passionate. I don't know if it's true. Frankly, I envy a lot of talent that you have in UK, for instance. And one of my favorite horror is Neil Marshall, The Descent. So yeah, I see in this movie a lot of passion also. I guess that now young directors have the possibility to see movies from everywhere on their iPad or television, and influences come from all the world. So I'm not sure that there is a type of Spanish horror or Latin horror and a British horror. You know, influences come all around and
Can be very
all
different.
around, and I guess frankly I consider that I'm influences by not mainly by Italian horror or Spanish horror. Possibly the movie I like most are from North America and the UK.